things were very interesting on Monday night down in New Orleans.
Nolans.
As Clemson, there was a battle of the Tigers, a battle in the jungle. As the Clemson Tigers were taking on the LSU Tigers. And as we now know, and as we see, represented by Barney over here, I mean, it's LSU fan.
Grimace.
Coach won.
Go Tigers. Yeah, y'all are the champ. After a 42-25 victory, LSU Tigers are the 2020 national champions. So I know you're feeling good. Talk to me about your victory and how you felt Monday night.
You know what I'm saying? They had to make up for it. They ain't let me down since another team let me down on Saturday. But, that's neither here or there. People were doing all that talking. Dabble was doing all that whining. We're playing, no one giving no respect. And we should be playing in Baton Rouge and all this and yada, yada, yada. Sunshine ain't lost since he was in high school in 2017 and all this. They beat Alabama. We held down for the SEC. Give some respect.
Listen, I told you openly I was rooting for y'all.
I know, exactly. I'm all other Bama fans that was, kind of hating out there.
Nah, because I hate Dabo. So, there you go.
But, everybody doing that talking. We went down 17-7. And it was, y'all about to get ran out the building and all this. And a blink of an eye, it was 14, 21, 28. After that, 17-7, you got outscored 35-8. So, Joe Burrow out there. That's the best college season I've ever seen in a year span. So, he did his thing. He's going to be number one pick. Guy's going to Cincinnati, but it is what it is.
Well, we're going to talk about that because now we know that with LSU winning, when you win normally in college and in the NFL, as you just mentioned, your coaching staff tends to hit the bricks. They tend to be promoted.
You're going to see what it's like now.
I copy the blueprint, and that's happening with LSU right now. Now, their passing game coordinator, he was not the offensive coordinator, although he did tweak and add things to the offense that we've seen helped tremendously to help not only Joe Burrow, but
if you don't think that's gonna be staying with them next year,
and it helped Thad Moss. Joe Brady, however, has taken a job in the NFL. Joe Brady has signed a deal to join Matt Rule's coaching staff and be the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers in the upcoming 2020 season. Now, what's interesting to me and what's got me scratching my head is I threw out on social media and I threw in our group chat earlier this week. The Carolina Panthers have the 7th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, and they currently also have the richest owner in football. There's been a lot of speculation before the departure of Ron Rivera, who's now the coach in Washington, about what would happen with Cam Newton. Foot injuries and injuries kept him off the field last season. We saw what Will Greer and Kyle Allen could do as far as backups are concerned with Carolina. So they have a lot of needs that they'll be looking for. We just spoke a moment ago during the segment in the NFL talk about Luke Kuechly retiring, so they'll be needing help on defense. But I feel like offense is somewhere that Matt Rule and Joe Brady will be looking to go. And with that money, with those picks, and with an asset like Cam Newton, I kind of think that we'll be seeing Joe Burrow in Carolina. I think somehow Carolina's gonna package a few picks, swap their 7th pick for the 1st overall pick, maybe additional picks in the future, and Cam Newton and Joe Burrow will end up in Carolina. If that happens, gentlemen, does that make sense for the Carolina Panthers? And would that be a better outcome for him going to play with those cats instead of the Bengal cats in Cincinnati?
What do we put that? I mean,
you know how we do, man.
It's kind of different how I know everybody want to go to the Eli and Phillip Rivers days, but I think Eli was the first pick and Phillip was the 4th or something like that. It was somewhere around there. He wasn't in the 7th.
Yeah, he was 4.
He was 4, so that's kind of easier to switch off than 7 to 1. If you go 7 to 1, you got to give up the whole house, the stadium, the moon, and the stars.
Because that's the Cincinnati won't Cam. That's the thing. Like,
and also, even with the Chargers, they can do it, and they the 4th spot. So, or Miami, if they do it, they don't try.
They have 5,
and they have 5. So you got to try to jump 6 other teams to go get Joe, which I don't understand why Cincinnati was Cincinnati.
It's Cincinnati.
Didn't go if you already know you're gonna be number 1 pick. Why when you go hire Joe Brady? You had Joe and Joe together, which would make too much sense, but in Cincinnati. Sorry, Jay Black. But but I mean, Cam, does he fit that offense? Sort of, kind of.
Well, you got to think, is it going to be Joe Brady creating the offense? Or is it going to be Matt Rule bringing his own system?
Combination of both. I think they're going to both kind of work that together.
Because if it's Matt Rule, then yeah, Cam fits.
But also, and we've seen this all the time, college coaches going to the NFL. This ain't college.
But that is changing though.
Because most of the offense in the NFL are college offense.
That's changing a whole lot nowadays.
And now that they lost Kuechly too,
that's changing. To a passing league.
They may have to go with Isaiah Simmons from Clemson.
Oh yeah. I forgot he's coming out. So he is the best. That boy's a baller. So I mean, I know that it makes a whole lot of sense there that everybody's saying that should be Carolina's play, but that could be all. You got to give up everything pretty much, and you can damage yourself later on.
They might, but I see that. I see that possibly taking place. There's something to just watch out for, something to keep our eye on. But something else that people are keeping their eye on, something that took place in your victory in LSU. There was a lot of people celebrating on Monday night down there in New Orleans after the Tigers won the Natty, and one of the big celebrators out there was our gentleman that we enjoy watching on Sundays. Cleveland Brown star Odell Beckham.
Now, you can tell he ain't used to winning.
He was involved a whole lot with the LSU season this year. He actually sent the team some Beats headphones right before the national championship game. I believe him and Jarvis sent some jackets or some cleats or something like that. So they were looking out. But after the victory, it appeared that Odell was giving out money on the field, and it was actually captured by a few cameras. CNN was there, a few other local cameras.
ESPN called.
After the fact, it was stated that it was fake money. That Odell was only giving out fake money. However, earlier today, warrant for his arrest was actually issued, and we seen footage and film hit the net and hit the airwaves of him smacking a police officer, security officer on the butt in the locker room, and they were looking at that as being a simple assault.
Wow, that's what they talking about?
Yeah. So, Craig, I'm gonna start with you on this one. Was Odell just having a little bit too much fun on Monday night? Do you have an issue with him passing out money if it was fake or real? And what are your thoughts on these allegations of assault that he's been hit with?
Well, yeah, I think he was having a little too much fun. I don't know for sure, but he looked drunk.
But we know drunk we see that boy was on the yak.
He looked faded. But my thing with the money situation was do that off camera. Like, especially when you know there are situations, there are rules. Rules may not be right. But you also don't want to affect somebody else's life, because you don't know what may happen with what if Justin Jefferson or what's his name? Justin Jefferson.
No, Justin.
What if Justin Jefferson decided to come back to school and they tried to penalize him for that? You know what I'm saying? You don't know how you affecting somebody else's life like that. And if you really mean to do that genuinely, do that off camera, man. You do that in the locker room. With the police situation or security guard or whatever, I think it's blown out of proportion. I also think being such a big public figure and
don't touch that man,
and a black man,
don't touch that man.
Don't touch that man.
Don't touch that man.
Don't touch that man. Let that man live, and don't touch that man. And because as we see, they already want to come get you. Don't give them ammunition.
One judge supposedly, when the case was brought to him, because they were actually trying to file a sexual assault or something like that at first, the judge pretty much laughed and rejected that notion and whatnot.
Because if you watch the video, to be honest, bro's reaction wasn't like, "Oh my god!" Like
he looked upset.
Yeah, but also because I was watching NFL Live earlier today, George Anderson was like, "All right, this was 2 days ago. Well, Monday." Now you want to come out with the simple battery because the video got out and all this. So
more embarrassment.
Yeah, more embarrassment. So if
it's reactionary.
Yeah, reactionary. Yeah. So if the video never came out or nobody would ever seen it, would you have gone with the simple battery? Probably not. So we all know what's gonna happen. Or they're gonna pay out, trying to get some cash. They ain't gonna hear about this no more. That's what you pretty much you won. You got your name out there. You got some paper.
I was disappointed in Odell just from the simple fact that it became about Odell. You know, I like Odell a lot, what he does on the field. And if the gesture was to give cash money, I like him even more for that because I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a hell of a, you know, that's honorable in itself.
Well, here's the thing. We know that happens.
Yeah, we know it happens, but even still, we don't know who does it. I just thought, you know, I'm like, damn, that's dope as shit. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be a fool if you think Julio ain't broke Calvin Ridley off when he was in college. Or Jared Judy getting paid by Calvin. Something like that.
Money.
But yeah, like, don't do it where it bring attention to your school because you don't know what anybody else has been doing.
Yeah. Fuck the feds.
What's the difference? I would say this. I was talking to one of my partners. I said, okay, hypothetically, give out the money. You said the beat situation, right? What's the difference with that?
Well, those things and those gifts, it's not a big. I feel you on that.
And Braun did it too.
It's the presentation on how it's given to them. You know what I'm saying? It's not cash. You know, it's a gift. It is a gift.
It could be it could be because that could be.
And it's given to the team.
Right.
It's not a solo thing where it's like that's one of the things.
Now, if Odell was to donate, that's like donating to the team. Like if I was to say, all right, I'm gonna donate the Claflin baseball team and buy like 15 bats. I'm not buying this particular player a bat. I'm buying 15 bats for the team. You know what I'm saying?
You do it for the player. That's what it's like.
And they were having a problem saying the shoe that he gifted the team, that too. Mm-hmm. He gifted the team. He saw himself for $200,000. Technically, it's his shoes, actually, if you want to be honest. But they wanted to find a problem about that. But also, there was another thing that I was, you know, when I was watching, what's the thing come on with Nick Wright?
I know you're talking about first things first.
First things first. He said how everybody is talking about this, but nobody was talking about the other situation that happened with another superstar, another receiver that happened over this past weekend who got arrested. But the fact is Odell, and everybody want to find something about Odell.
It wasn't a good look.
Like I said, as you a black man in America,
it was a good look, but not a good look. Yeah, because for that, I get it.
Reasons. And also, it's also he was snubbing his nose and you also play this snubbing his nose at the NCAA.
Yeah.
Because these kids, everybody know it.
It's $1 billion game. We're gonna make sure.
But you don't have the most power in that situation because NCAA, depending on who it is, let's say he did that to Terrace Marshall. He gave Terrence Marshall money on the field on camera. NCAA can say, "All right, Terrence, you suspended 4 games next year."
Yeah, that would have been.
I know. I didn't say it. When he did it, I was like, "Bruh,
you doing too much."
And then I said,
Odell always doing too much.
Hey man, he's Odell.
Chill out.
Yeah, that's too much. But another situation that took place in y'all backyard that was breaking news before we kind of got in here today. Is a situation with a coach that's leaving. We just spoke about how LSU is leaving coaches and whatnot. And Dave
Aranda.
We're going to get his name right. Dave Aranda is now the head man in charge at Baylor. So he'll be
where Matt Rule left.
Matt Rule.
And we blame all this on the Carolina owner.
So I want to give you a few numbers. I want to ask you about it first. Now, since he's been at LSU and he's been there.
You could even go further back when he was at Wisconsin.
Since he's been at LSU, he's been there since 2016. Your defense has been a top 20 defense. Now they've been between 10 and 20. They haven't creeped into the top 10, but they've been a top 20 defense. They've only given up about 19 points per game. So that's not bad, especially in the SEC. 19 points per game. We've seen that pretty much decrease or increase. It look better for y'all this season because it's been one of the best defensive seasons that you guys have had. He'll be taking on, as we mentioned,
late in the season.
He'll be taking on pretty much a high profile situation where Baylor was pretty much in the dumps. Unfortunately, because of a few allegations that took place, a few things that we found out that took place. I don't really want to speak on those bad things and bring up memories for people involved in that. But Matt Rule was able to pretty much revamp and revitalize the situation in the program, and now he leaves it in good hands of what's going on with Dave. Are you upset? Not upset, but as from a fan's perspective, are you upset on where this may leave your program, and do you feel like he was the right man for the job for Baylor?
I was like, man, could this week be over? I was like, God, who else gonna leave? Good Lord, the whole
Steve Esminger.
No, he can't go, bro. He's entrenched.
Let's go. Somebody higher than that.
Shut up. He ain't gonna, he's entrenched.
I want y'all to realize.
Why? I ain't doing this to you, bro. Hey, man, let us live. But also, I'm not mad. Because he been tired of some other. He been tired of some other jobs with the UNLV job. I think it was Hawaii too. He was linked to some other jobs. So we all know he wanted to be a head coach. And I mean, if you look at his face, you like he wanted to be there for real because he never looked happy to me.
Oh, that's been him. Like
even
when he was at Wisconsin,
he stone face.
Yeah.
But and also somebody made the point with Coach O. He was a Coach O guy. Coach O didn't hire him. He inherited him from Les Miles. So now you can see how it feels to be the head dog in a big conference in the Power 5 conference, who normally doesn't play defense in that conference. So we will see how you if your schemes and you get the same kind of talent you get in the SEC kind of talent in the Big 12.
If he can make an impact, as he just stated, that conference is not known for defense at all. We see teams, Oklahoma State, the Baylor, lighting it up on a every Saturday basis. Do you feel like the gentleman will be able to make an impact on defense and keep the culture thriving that's been built and revamped in Baylor?
I do. I think Baylor, because this year Baylor was built by Matt Rule as a tough, hard-nosed team. Like, if you think about it, Baylor isn't one of those teams you think about, they're going out there scoring 45, 50 points a game. They're going to run the football, play good defense. So I think if Dave Aranda can just continue that trend, I think he'll be fine. Baylor they didn't win the conference, but they win the conference championship game this year with their third-string quarterback.
They were in the Sugar Bowl. They faced Georgia in the Sugar Bowl as well.
Right. Dave Aranda, he's been in the Big Ten. He's been in the SEC as a defensive coordinator as well. Go to the Big 12. Maybe you can shake some things up.
Be very interesting to see what happens.
Now you got Les Miles and Dave Aranda.
Two from LSU.
Right.
He shout out Les. He gave a shout out to y'all on Monday night for picking up the victory. Be interesting to see how LSU moves forward as the upcoming 2020 season.
It's a hot job. I mean, who don't want to come in there? You got the best DB in the country.
Rex Ryan if he don't get an NFL job or something like that. Bring over Rex down to LSU.
I wouldn't, for some strange reason.
He'd fit with Coach O.
I wouldn't be too bad about that if he wanted to go to college route.
Bring Rex down. We got a few more things to talk about before we close tonight's show out. We're gonna dive into the NBA and talk about what's going on the hardwood of the NBA. All-Star Weekend is right around the corner. Halfway point of the NBA season is taking place, and some news will be breaking place with Zion. So we'll be talking about that. We're gonna dive into some basketball, some MLB before we close the show. We'll be right back.